You've been staring at your phone for 15 minutes, scrolling through other people's lives, watching them do the things you keep telling yourself you'll start tomorrow. And somewhere in the back of your mind, there's this voice, quiet at first, but getting louder. It's asking you a question you don't want to answer. What if you spend your entire life preparing to live instead of actually living? Let me tell you something that nobody wants to hear. That thing you're afraid of doing, that conversation you're avoiding, that change you keep postponing, it's not going to get easier. Not tomorrow, not next month, not in 5 years when you have more money or more experience or more confidence. The truth you need to accept right now is brutally simple. You're either going to do it while you're terrified, or you're not going to do it at all. I'm not here to tell you that fear is fake. I'm not going to insult your intelligence by claiming it's just in your head or that you need to visualize success or that positive thoughts will make everything okay. Fear is real. Fear is accurate. That business you want to start will probably fail the first time. That person you need to confront will probably get defensive. That new skill you want to learn will make you feel stupid for months. Fear isn't lying to you about the difficulty. It's actually being pretty honest. So why listen to me at all? Because here's what fear isn't telling you. It isn't telling you that the difficulty is worth it. It isn't telling you that the person who tries and fails is fundamentally different from the person who never tries. It isn't telling you that every single day you wait, you're not just postponing action, you're becoming someone who postpones action.
Think about the last time you felt genuinely proud of yourself. Not proud because something good happened to you. Proud because you did something hard. I'll bet anything it wasn't comfortable. I'll bet you were scared when you did it. I'll bet you weren't sure it would work out. And I'll bet that feeling of pride came specifically because you acted despite being terrified. That's the secret nobody tells you. Confidence doesn't create action. Action creates confidence. You don't feel brave and then make the call. You make the call while your hands are shaking, and then you feel brave. You don't feel motivated and then go to the gym. You drag yourself there while every cell in your body wants to stay in bed, and then you feel motivated. You don't feel prepared and then start the project. You start while you're unprepared, and then you learn what you need to know. The feeling you're waiting for comes after, not before. And every day you wait for it to show up first, you're training yourself to wait. You're becoming someone whose default response to fear is postponement. You're building an identity around being the person who's always about to start, always planning, always preparing, but never actually doing. Here's what that looks like in 5 years. You're sitting in the same room, same job, same life, same fears, but now you're 5 years older. 5 years more practiced at avoiding discomfort. 5 years deeper into patterns that keep you stuck. And the worst part isn't that you failed, it's that you never tried. You optimized your entire life for safety, and all you got was a life that feels suffocating. Think about the last time you felt genuinely proud of yourself. Not proud because something good happened to you. Proud because you did something hard. I'll bet anything it wasn't comfortable. I'll bet you were scared when you did it. I'll bet you weren't sure it would work out. And I'll bet that feeling of pride came specifically because you acted despite being terrified. That's the secret nobody tells you. Confidence doesn't create action. Action creates confidence. You don't feel brave and then make the call. You make the call while your hands are shaking, and then you feel brave. You don't feel motivated and then go to the gym. You drag yourself there while every cell in your body wants to stay in bed, and then you feel motivated. You don't feel prepared and then start the project. You start while you're unprepared, and then you learn what you need to know. The feeling you're waiting for comes after, not before. And every day you wait for it to show up first, you're training yourself to wait. You're becoming someone whose default response to fear is postponement. You're building an identity around being the person who's always about to start, always planning, always preparing, but never actually doing. Here's what that looks like in 5 years. You're sitting in the same room, same job, same life, same fears, but now you're 5 years older. 5 years more practiced at avoiding discomfort. 5 years deeper into patterns that keep you stuck. And the worst part isn't that you failed, it's that you never tried. You optimized your entire life for safety, and all you got was a life that feels suffocating. Every comfort you refuse to give up is a prison you're choosing to stay in. Every hard conversation you postpone adds another pound to the weight you carry. Every risk you don't take is a life you don't get to live. And time doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't pause while you work up the courage. It just passes, indifferent to whether you used it to grow or used it to hide. Let me tell you about the real cost of waiting. It's not just the opportunities you miss. It's who you become while you're waiting. Every day you choose comfort over courage, your comfort zone gets smaller and your courage gets weaker. Every day you choose safety over risk,
You get better at staying safe and worse at taking risks. Every day you choose avoiding over confronting, you strengthen the neural pathways that make avoiding your default response. You think you're just postponing the action, but you're actually rewiring your brain to be someone who postpones. You think you're just waiting for the right moment, but you're actually becoming someone who waits instead of creates. You think you're being strategic, but you're building an identity around being someone who never quite gets started. And then 5 years pass, and you finally decide you're ready. Except now you're not just fighting the fear of the thing itself. You're fighting 5 years of conditioning yourself to be someone who doesn't do hard things. You're fighting an identity you've built around being cautious. You're fighting habits of avoidance that have become automatic. The person you are today is the result of the choices you made yesterday. The person you'll be in 5 years is being created by the choices you're making right now. And if those choices are consistently, "I'll do it tomorrow," then you're not creating a future self who's braver. You're creating a future self who's even better at saying tomorrow. Let me address the excuses, because I know what you're thinking. I'm not ready yet. I need to prepare more first. I'll start when I have more time. I'll do it when I have more money. I'll make the change when I feel more confident. Every single one of these sounds logical. Every single one feels like a valid reason. And every single one is just fear wearing a disguise. You're as ready right now as you'll ever be. More preparation won't make the first step less terrifying. It'll just give you more time to imagine all the ways it could go wrong. You don't have more time coming. You just have the same 24 hours getting filled with different obligations. More money won't make you braver. More confidence doesn't arrive in the mail. It gets built through taking action while you're not confident. These aren't reasons. They're negotiations with fear. And fear doesn't negotiate. Fear's job is to keep you safe. And safe means exactly where you are. No risk. No change. No growth. Fear will give you 1,000 logical sounding reasons not to act, and every single one will make perfect sense right up until you're 60 years old wondering why you never tried. You know what you're really afraid of? It's not the hard work. Most people will work 60 hours a week at a job they hate, so clearly hard work isn't the issue. It's not the discomfort. You're already uncomfortable. Stuck feels terrible. Small feels suffocating. It's not even the uncertainty, because staying where you are has its own uncertainty. What if you waste your entire life playing it safe? You're afraid of failing publicly. You're afraid of looking stupid. You're afraid of being exposed as someone who tried and couldn't do it. You're afraid of confirming the voice in your head that says you're not good enough. That's the real fear, not the action itself, but what the results might say about you. So let me tell you the truth about failure. You're going to fail, probably multiple times. Probably in ways you didn't expect. Probably in front of people whose opinions you care about. That's not a possibility. That's a guarantee. The only question is whether you'll let the guarantee of failure stop you from trying, or whether you'll understand what failure actually is. Failure is data. It's feedback. It's information about what doesn't work so you can adjust and try again. The only time failure actually matters is when you let it stop you. When you try once, fail once, and decide that means you should quit. When you use one failure as evidence of your permanent inadequacy instead of temporary inexperience. Every person you admire has failed more times than you've tried. They've been rejected more than you've applied. They've fallen short more than you've attempted. The difference isn't that they don't fail. The difference is that they don't stop. They understand that you don't learn to ride a bike without falling. You don't build a business without making mistakes. You don't master anything without being terrible at it first. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of success. It's the tuition you pay for the education in what works. Every failure brings you one step closer to figuring it out. The people who win aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who get up every single time, who treat failure as a teacher instead of a judge. So how do you actually do this? How do you fight through fear when everything in you is screaming to retreat? You start by understanding that this isn't one big moment. It's 1,000 small moments. 1,000 tiny choices where you pick action over comfort. Your alarm goes off at 5 a.m. Your bed feels like heaven. Your body aches. Your mind offers you a dozen reasons why you should sleep in just today. That's the moment. That's the battlefield. You either get up or you don't. And whichever choice you make, you're training yourself. You're either becoming someone who gets up when it's hard, or someone who sleeps in when it's comfortable. That choice echoes through every other moment in your day. You need to make a difficult phone call. Your heart is racing. Your throat feels tight. You're thinking of reasons to wait until tomorrow. That's the moment. You either pick up the phone while your hands are shaking, or you postpone and tell yourself you'll be more prepared tomorrow. One choice makes you someone who does hard things. The other makes you someone who avoids them. You're at the gym. You've done your planned workout. You could leave now. Nobody would know. That's the moment. Do you do one more set when you're exhausted, or do you coast? One choice builds someone who pushes through fatigue. The other builds someone who stops when it gets hard. These moments seem small in isolation. Missing one 5 a.m. alarm doesn't ruin your life. Postponing one phone call doesn't doom your future. Skipping one extra set doesn't erase your progress. But you're not making isolated choices. You're building patterns. You're creating identity. You're becoming someone. Every time you choose the hard thing, you're stacking evidence that you're the kind of person who chooses hard things. Every time you act despite fear, you're proving to yourself that fear doesn't control you. Every time you push through discomfort, you're becoming someone who pushes through discomfort. And the person you're becoming through these small daily choices is the person who determines what your life becomes. Here's something powerful. It gets easier, not because fear gets smaller, but because you get stronger. The first time you do the hard thing, it takes everything you have. Your hands shake, your voice cracks, you feel like an imposter, you question every decision. The second time, it's still hard, but you have evidence now. You've done it once, you survived. The 10th time, it's familiar discomfort. You know this feeling. You've beaten it before. The 100th time, it's just what you do. Not easy, but automatic. Not comfortable, but normal. That's momentum. That's what happens when you fight through fear consistently. You build a track record. You accumulate proof of capability. You develop trust in yourself based on experience, not hope. And that trust changes everything. Because now when fear shows up, and it always shows up, you don't see it as a stop sign. You see it as a signal. You see it as the marker showing you exactly where you need to go next. Think about water hitting a wall. Water doesn't stop. It doesn't quit. It doesn't sit there developing a strategic plan. It just keeps going. It finds a crack. It seeps through. It flows around. It goes over. It goes under. Water doesn't have confidence. Water doesn't wait to feel ready. Water just flows. Constantly, persistently, relentlessly. And over time, that wall comes down. Not because water decided to take a break and come back stronger. Not because water waited for perfect conditions. Because water kept moving every single day until the wall had no choice but to yield. That's what you need to become. Not fearless. Not confident. Not ready. Just relentless. Just persistent. Just unwilling to stop moving forward regardless of how you feel. Fear is the wall. Action is the water. And you are the force that chooses whether the water flows or stops. You have two paths in front of you right now. Path 1, you feel the fear, you acknowledge it's real, you recognize the thing is genuinely hard, and you let that convince you to wait. You get temporary relief. You feel the comfort of staying safe today. And tomorrow, the fear is still there, probably bigger, because now you have evidence that you're someone who backs down. Now you've trained yourself one more day to choose comfort. A year goes by. Same place. Same fears, same life. 5 years go by. You realize you've been stuck in the same pattern for half a decade. You've mastered the art of almost doing things. Almost starting. Almost changing. But almost doesn't count. Almost isn't a life. Almost is just fear winning in slow motion. Path 2, you feel the fear. You acknowledge it's real. You recognize it's genuinely hard. And you do it anyway. Not because you feel ready. Not because you feel confident. Because you decided your future matters more than your feelings. You feel terrified. You feel uncomfortable. You feel exposed. And then you do the thing. You survive. You learn something. And you have evidence that you're someone who faces fear. Tomorrow when the fear comes again, you have proof you can beat it. A year goes by. You're not the same person. You've done hard things. You've faced fears. You've built evidence of capability. 5 years go by. Your life is unrecognizable. Not because everything worked perfectly, but because you became someone who takes action despite fear. And that person creates opportunities. That person solves problems. That person builds the life they want instead of hoping it appears. Both paths have discomfort. Path 1 has the discomfort of regret, stagnation, becoming someone you don't respect. Path 2 has the discomfort of action, growth, becoming someone you're proud of. Choose your discomfort, because you're going to be uncomfortable either way. You know what's worse than fear? Regret. Fear is temporary. You feel it, you act anyway, it passes. Regret is permanent. It sits in your chest for decades, reminding you of chances you didn't take. Fear says, what if this doesn't work? Regret says, I wish I had tried. Fear says, this might be hard. Regret says, I wonder what could have been. 20 years from now, you won't regret the things that didn't work out. You'll regret the things you didn't try because you were scared. You won't regret the business that failed. You'll regret the business you never started. You won't regret the relationship that ended. You'll regret never having the courage to pursue it. Regret is fear's final victory. It's what happens when you let fear make your decisions for so long that you run out of time to change your mind. So here's the standard. This is what separates people who transform their lives from people who stay stuck. Do the hard thing every single day. Before you feel ready, before you feel confident, before you feel motivated, have the hard conversation, start the hard project, make the hard choice, face the hard truth, take the hard step. Do it while your hands are shaking. Do it while your voice is cracking. Do it while you're not sure it will work. Do it because your future depends on it. Do it because the person you're becoming demands it. The fear will be there. The doubt will be there. The uncertainty will be there. Do it anyway, not because it's easy, because it's necessary, not because you feel ready, because waiting won't make you more ready, not because you're sure it will work, because not trying guarantees it won't. This is the standard, not perfection, not fearlessness, not confidence, just action, despite fear, despite doubt, despite uncertainty. Every single day, you either meet it or you don't. And whichever you choose, you're creating your future. Here's what nobody tells you about courage. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is fear plus action. You don't become brave and then slay the dragon. You face the dragon while you're terrified, and that makes you brave. You don't develop confidence and then take the risk. You take the risk while you're uncertain, and that builds confidence. Every quality you want comes from doing the thing before you feel ready to do it. And that means courage is available to you right now. You don't have to wait for it. You don't have to build up to it. You don't have to prepare for it. You just have to choose it right now. With the fear, with the doubt, with the uncertainty. Choose to act anyway. Every hero you've heard of was just a regular person who chose to act despite being scared. Every extraordinary achievement started with an ordinary person making the choice to move forward while terrified. You have that same choice available to you right now. The same opportunity, the same chance. The only question is whether you'll take it. When you finally do the thing you're scared of, one of two things happens. Either it works out and you realize the fear was worse than the reality, or it doesn't work out and you realize you can handle failure. Both outcomes make you stronger. Both outcomes prove the fear wasn't worth avoiding. Both outcomes move you forward. The only outcome that makes you weaker is not trying. The only result that proves the fear was right is letting it stop you. When you fight through fear, you don't just accomplish the thing. You become someone who fights through fear. And that person can do things the old you couldn't imagine. When you take action despite being scared, you get proof. Proof that you're capable. Proof that you're strong. Proof that fear doesn't own you. And that proof compounds. Let me be clear about something. This won't be smooth. You're not going to fight through fear once and suddenly be fearless forever. You'll have days where you do everything right. Days where you face fear head-on and win. Days where you're proud. And then you'll have days where you fail. Days where you let fear win. Days where you choose comfort. Days where you're disappointed in yourself. That's normal. That's human. That's part of the process. The difference between people who transform and people who stay stuck isn't that successful people never fail. It's that they don't let one failure become a pattern. They have a bad day, acknowledge it, get back to work the next day. They make a mistake, learn from it, try again. Progress isn't linear. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's winning more than you lose. It's getting better over time, even when day-to-day feels inconsistent. Don't judge yourself by your worst day. Judge yourself by your trajectory. Are you facing fear more often than 6 months ago? Are you taking action more consistently than a year ago? Are you becoming braver over time, even if you're not brave every single day? That's what matters. Not perfection, progress. Right now. This moment. This is where it happens. Not tomorrow. Not Monday. Not when you feel ready. Not when circumstances are better. Right now. Whatever that thing is, that conversation, the decision, that first step, that scary choice, you already know what it is. You've known for weeks, months, maybe years. It's the thing you think about at 3 a.m. It's the thing that nags at you when you're trying to relax. It's the thing you make excuses about but can't forget about. That's the thing. And the question is, are you going to do it while you're scared? Or are you going to add one more day to the pile of days you didn't? Because the fear won't be smaller tomorrow. The task won't be easier next week. The only thing that changes is whether you're someone who took action despite fear, or someone who let fear make your decisions. And that identity is created right now, in this moment, by what you do next. You can close this, go back to scrolling, go back to comfortable, and nothing changes. Or you can take one action right now, today, while you're scared. Make the call, send the email, start the project, have the conversation, take the first step, do the thing that scares you right now while your heart is racing, while you're not sure it will work, while you feel unprepared, because that's how you win, not by waiting until you feel ready, by acting while you're scared and becoming ready through action. Here it is, the moment of decision, the fork in the road, the choice that determines everything. Are you going to fight through fear, or let fear win one more day? Are you going to do the hard thing, or do the comfortable thing and wonder why your life doesn't change? Are you going to be water that keeps flowing despite obstacles, or someone who stops at the first sign of difficulty? The choice is yours, but understand this, not choosing is choosing. Waiting is a decision, postponing is an answer, and that answer is fear wins. But if you're tired of fear winning, if you're done being someone who waits and plans and prepares but never does, if you're ready to become someone who feels fear and acts anyway, then do the thing. Today, right now, this moment. Do it scared, do it unprepared, do it uncertain, but do it, because on the other side of that fear is the life you actually want. On the other side of that hard thing is the person you're meant to become. On the other side of that fight is freedom, not freedom from fear, freedom from being controlled by fear. Fight through it, not around it, not over it, not under it, through it. That's where your life is waiting. Now go get it.